Hello everyone, I am Srujana, pursuing second MSC Microbiology from Central University of Tamilnadu. Today I am going to present a topic on littoral zone in the marine ecosystem. First we'll talk about marine ecosystem. Marine ecosystem is the largest part of the Earth's aquatic ecosystem which covers two-thirds of the Earth. It can be observed in the, it is like ecosystems there are two types, marine ecosystem and freshwater ecosystem. Marine ecosystem is nothing but water with salt, that is high salt concentrations, whereas freshwater ecosystem is having fresh waters. Ecosystem is nothing but a group or community of organisms that are living in a particular area which is having interactions with the surrounding environment. Here we can say in marine ecosystem, marine is having an organisms like which are biotic factors, includes plants, animals and microorganisms, whereas surroundings includes abiotic factors like temperature, pressure, oxygen, dissolved water and stuff. Now we will talk about littoral zone, which is the main topic. Littoral zone is also called as littoral or intertidal zone, which is a surface area of a sea or ocean or a lake, which will be having a short curve or submerged zone where the sunlight can pass through. The major characteristics of littoral zone is like presence of sunlight throughout the littoral, throughout the part of this surface of the lake or river or ocean. And the second one is like various habitat. It will be having many number of species in particular areas, like seashore will be having rocky shores, sand shores, muddy shores, etc. And these will be having enormous number of species which will create rich in biodiversity. Species like coral reefs, coastal areas, soft sediments, mangroves, marshes can be available in the littoral zone. Other than littoral zone, there are three more zones are available, uh, which are differentiated from littoral zone because they don't even have the capacity to allow sunlight to pass through them. Limnatic zone is the beneath the littoral zone where there will be uh, very much few sunrises will be available. But this is also an open area like littoral zone. Bottom to that profundal zone will be available, which is deeper than the littoral zone where sunlight won't be available. And then the final part is the beneath zone, which is like a sand or mud sedimented area where only decomposers are able to survive. Coming to the subzones of littoral zone, there are like four different zones divided from littoral zone. First one is supralittoral, as we can see on the top of it. Bottom to that littoral zone, and then sublittoral zone and infralittoral zones are available. In supralittoral zone, by name itself, we can understand that this is the area that is present on the surface of the ocean or sea, where we will be having high tides. Mm, Occasionally, these area will be submerged due to high tides, but regularly there won't be any tides over there. That means it will be completely dry until the high tides comes to there. Actually, this is the site where land and the seashore starting part will be merging. Because of the high tides only, it will get wet. Then only the salt in the water will come out. When the tides go back, the salt get accumulated over there, so we can see the salt marks over there. It forms a buffer between the land and the ocean where tolerant and extremophilic organisms were able to find out. Coming to the eulittoral zone, it is the zone beneath the supralittoral zone where high tides will be the frequent. In supralittoral zone, high tides are rare. But in littoral zone, high tides are frequent, so the area will be mostly wet. But when tides are not there, it will become little bit dry. It will be always in temperature fluctuations will be there, mostly cold, rarely heat will be there because of exposure to sun or air over there. Organisms that are present in these littoral zone are having capacity to survive under water or even in open air. Coming to sublittoral zone, it is a part of the ocean where lies just below the low tides. That means there will be less tides availability. That means water currents will be low. So this will be more stable and completely covered with water. There won't be any dry part over there. But still sunlight will pass through this layer also. You can say this zone as a biodiversity rich zone because of the frequent availability of water and moisture content. There will be many number of species growing. We can even find sponges, corals, fishes over there, and vertebrates also will be available. Coming to the last subpart of the littoral zone is infra-littoral zone. Infra-littoral zone is nothing but this is the bottom layer which will be having shallow bottom and filled with mud or sand. So here we can find out some decomposers, corals and stuff. This is good for sunlight exposure also, as it is going like a cone into the bottom. Sunlight can directly penetrate into that. So it will create a favorable condition for the marine plants and organisms to grow. We can say it like a rich in life. Organisms like algae, seagrass, fishes, molluscans, and crustaceans can be found out in this infra-littoral zone. This is crucial for habitat and for food and breeding, etc. Coming to the next part, this is a paper written by Winfield saying about the fishes that are present in the littoral zone, their ecology, their threats, and how to manage the threats. Fishes, we all know that they will be keep on moving here and there. So talking about the fish migration, they will migrate from one zone to another zone, basing on their stage of the life cycle. Their mobility is like fast and they will be moving towards or against the water current, but only young ones will be unable to move against the current. Uh, their mobility will be basing on the environmental condition, the habitat over there. Because of the mobility, we are unable to maintain or differentiate the ecology imbalance in the ecosystem. Uh, in littoral zone, there are so many threats. Among them, I included over here some eutrophication. Eutrophication is the main threat that is having in the lakes, rivers, oceans, etc. Eutrophication is nothing but accumulation of nutrients over a particular region, which will result in um algae to grow more and release the toxins, which leads to formation of algal blooms and even uh, which leads to death of the fishes due to deoxygenation. Then water level variation is like in some areas water will be high, but in some areas water will be low, or even they are moving from upper to low, lower to upper due to because of high tides or low tides, and even because of temperature conditions and stuff they will be evaporating or coming again. Because of all these conditions and all, water level will be varying too much, and some pollutants also will cause variations in the water. Talking about species introduction, because of the current of water, so many species will be coming into the littoral zone from many other places. Because of the species introduction, they may become dominance on the normal flora and fauna that are present in the littoral zone, which will become predators or competitors for the normal flora, and they may even end up becoming endemic species. Sorry. Now coming to the siltation. Siltation is nothing but accumulation of silt or clay. These Because of this silt or clay, eggs will become fragile, or even incubation of eggs won't be happening. Spawning will be difficult. We won't even able to get breeded eggs because of siltation. Coming to the management, we need to manage and reduce these problems. In case of eutrophication, we can manage by adding particular species of flora or fauna, so that they will uptake the nutrients that are getting accumulated, so that we can manage the food web over there. Coming to the water level variation, we will try to maintain water level constant, and even reducing global warming, pollutions around the water, which leads to constant water content. Coming to the species introduction, we can manage to separate the invaders or some species coming out from nearby places to the particular lake or ocean, by creating some channels, so that each of the species will be separated to each other, so there won't be any predating or competing among themselves. Coming to siltation, we can introduce a type of spawn that will help in absorbing the silt and clay, or even they will cover up the silt and clay that is accumulated over there, so that the eggs can be incubated or breeded on top of the spawn, which won't be affected by the silt or clay that are accumulated. Now we'll talk about the marine life that is present in the littoral zone. Littoral zone is like we already discussed about it. This is the surface part near to the shore. So both the wet conditions of ocean and dry conditions of the sea will be there. So the organisms that are living over there should be adapted to survive in the both dry and wet conditions. Animals like snails, sea stars, molluscs, reptiles, crustaceans, cnidarians, sea anemones can be observed over there. They Some of them will be like coming to from ocean to the rocky area because of the water currents and stuff. So still they have to survive over there in the rocky areas because of their adaptations. Large amount of water that is present in the littoral zone helps in creating a vast diversity of species to survive in that. Humans are also dependent on the littoral zone for fishing or eating stuff, or for normal water, drinking water from lakes, etc. Generally, seawater will be having only 3.5% of the dissolved components, like salinity and stuff. Other than that, 96.5% is having pure water only. Chemical composition of seawater reflects as erosion of rocks and sediments, volcanic activity, gases exchange, metabolic breakdown, rains, etc. Carbon, nitrogen, and phosphorus that are present in the uh, ocean or even the sand environment will help in organic cycles like nitrogen cycle, phosphorus cycle, carbon cycle. Because of that, these compounds or these elements will be the limiting factors. Concentrations of phosphorus and nitrogen will be low in oceans because of their continuation uptake by the marine organisms, but still sometimes they'll get accumulated because of the disturbance in the food web. uh, Chemical composition of atmosphere can also be affected by these oceans, because nearby this ocean there will be carbon dioxide in the air, which will be taken up by the ocean or marine organisms, and they will convert into the oxygen and release it out. So it will help in maintaining the carbon dioxide and oxygen levels in the sea or nearby shore. Dumping of pollutions in the water or sea ocean helps in increasing or decreasing, that is fluctuations in the ocean, which will result in um, environmental problems. Coming to the habitats in the littoral zone, there we can find out like 5 to 7 habitats. Here I included only 5. Rocky shores. Rocky shores is nothing but solid rock formations on the surface of the littoral zone. Species like barnacle, sea anemones, mussels, starfish can be found over there. They are having adaptations to the harsh environment, such as they used to be present in sublittoral or infralittoral zone, but because of the high tides and stuff, they'll be taken out from the ocean to the surface area, so they are able to survive on the rocky shades also. Their ecological role is to provide shelter and breeding grounds. The second one is sandy or muddy shores. These sandy or muddy shores will be having loose and shifting sand. Species like sand crabs, beach fleas, decomposers, burrowing clams can be observed over there. The sandy shores ecological role is to provide dynamic habitats and constantly changing the substrates, so that it can be available for all the organisms to survive over there and breed. Coming to the third part is the coral reefs. In coral reefs, these are like complex underwater structures made of calcium carbonates released from the corals. Species like corals, sponges, molluscans can be observed over there. They will be having symbiotic relationship with other organisms also. Their ecological role is to protect the shoreline and also helps in tourism, etc. Coming to the last part is the kelp forest. Kelp forest is like dense underwater forest formed by the large algae or large macroalgae. Species like kelp, sea urchins, fishes can be observed. This is important for habitat and for food source. Their ecological role is to contribute for carbon sequestration, fishing, etc. Importance, coming to the importance of littoral zone, they will be involved in biodiversity because they are the house for most of the marine species. Diverse marine species are available over there. Coming to the climatic regulations, they'll help in maintaining the environment, carbon dioxide, oxygen, etc. Coming to the ecological value, they involved in fisheries, tourism, marine resources are also useful for human lifestyle. Cultural and recreation values includes oceans have been central to human cultures, recreation, spiritual for millennia. Ecosystem services includes oxygen production, carbon sequestration, nitrogen cycling, and for food source also. Here I included some of the examples of littoral zones over the world. First comes the Caspian Sea, Central Asia. Caspian Sea is the world's largest inland water body. It is a brackish sea with various salinity concentrations at different sites. It is the host for both brackish and freshwater species. It includes Caspian seals and even some endemic species also available over there. Environmental problems like pollutions from oil extraction, industrial waste can be observed in that. But the economical importance of the Caspian Sea is like oils and gas reservoir, and it will be helpful in fisheries also. It is located in the Central Asia. In this, both freshwater and marine water can be observed apart from each other in the same ocean. Coming to the next one, Great Barrier Reef, Australia. By name itself, we can say it like a reservoir for coral reefs. It is located in the northeastern coast of Australia. has world's largest coral reef system, and most diversity is also available over there. Species like hard and soft corals are present over there. Some of them like turtles, fishes, sharks, sea stars can also be observed. Their ecological role is to provide essential habitats and breeding grounds for the marine organisms. They also have mangrove forest, sea, grass beads, muddy shores, rocky shores, etc. Coming to the Red Sea Egypt. Red Sea Egypt is a dynamic and ecologically rich spot, helps in health and sustainability of coral reefs. Species like hard and soft corals, number of species of reef species, fishes, sharks, turtles, and invertebrates. Their ecological role is to control the habitat and ground for the breeders, etc. Others like grass beds, mangrove forest, muddy shores, rocky shores are also included in this. Coming to the next part, Norwegian Norwegian fjords. Norwegian with their steep leaves and deep water are some important coastal landscapes in the world. These areas are having sheer cliffs and rocky substance covered with the algal and other vegetations. Species like seaweeds, kelps, fishes, sea urchins, starfishes, other invertebrates are also present over here. Cold water coral reefs are the hotspot for the biodiversities that are present mostly in this Norwegian Frodile Sea. Coming to the conclusion, we had talked about what is marine ecosystem. Marine ecosystem is like a group of organisms that are present in the salt conditions and the relation with the environment. And then littoral zone. Littoral zone is the surface part of the marine ecosystem where it can be subdivided into littoral, sublittoral, infralittoral, etc. And then because of the subzones, they can be divided into different habitats like rocky shore, muddy shore, coral reefs, and mangrove forest, kelp forest, etc. Again, coming to the paper, talking about the fishes. Fishes are mostly present in the littoral zone, but they will be moving here and zone to zone basing on their life cycle, their size, water current, etc. So we are unable to find out the ecology of fishes, but still we are able to find out the threats and we are able to manage the threats that is present in the littoral zone. And finally, talking about some examples, these are my references. Thank you.